This is the second in a series of videos that originated as a result of earlier this week when Warren Buffett appeared on CNBC to explain why he was in Japan and what his future investments might be as quizzed by Becky Quick. Yesterday I did a video that explained why he was there and how he is setting up the opportunity for small manufacturers in the United States or anywhere in the free world to minimize their reliance on China for the manufacturing of the goods and parts that they need to keep their businesses alive. Today, I want to answer the question that Becky Quick asked. Why are you taking such a strong position in Paramount Global? His immediate answer was that the streaming business is not a good business, and then his conclusion was, we'll have to wait and see. He gave no real concrete evidence. I know why, because I've dug in. I've come to understand this chart. This is a chart of Paramount over the last couple of years, and you'll see the spike up and then the drop down. If you'll understand that, you'll understand why he bought it. That's what we're going to do in this video.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
First of all, what I wanted to do was understand Paramount's business. It's basically CBS, it's Paramount Plus streaming, and it's their movie library and their production of movies. If you go into Seeking Alpha and find their annual report, you'll see that over the past 2 years, they've basically just made ends meet, except for in 2021, the profits that they made off of the Super Bowl, and then in 2022, the profits that they made off of Top Gun Maverick. Other than that, they are just kind of treading water. They are an advertising business. They make their profits off of their ability to generate advertising dollars. They're not doing so well right now, other than as I said, their past blockbuster of Top Gun Maverick. If again you'll look at the chart, you'll see that there is a direct line that goes up from roughly April of 2021 and then spikes down. On the left side of that spike is a interview that Oprah Winfrey had with Prince Henry and Meghan Markle that drew an extraordinarily high viewer count and created tremendous revenues for CBS. In addition, they signed a contract with the NFL, which basically would increase their exposure to not only the AFC, which they had rights to prior to the agreement, but it would also give them some additional access to the NFC. It would give them more games, and it would give them some very exclusive rights to doubleheaders and things of this nature. And the market read that extremely well. In addition, as I said, they hosted, the Super Bowl for 2021. Then what happened on the right side of that was they announced that they were going to fund the streaming venture of Paramount Plus by issuing $3 billion worth of preferred stock, which ended up diluting the shares of their existing stock. Then at about the same time, there was a failure of a hedge fund called Capital Management, and they were major holders of Paramount stock, and they dumped those shares on the market right as this dilution of shares occurred, and you see that drop, enormous drop in the stock price of Paramount. So that gives you some background of why that happened. Now, we then had on the good side, as I said, Top Gun Maverick happen in 2022. Buffett first revealed that he had bought into Paramount in May of 2022. So after all this bad things happened, with a purchase of 75 million shares and not much of an explanation. Those shares were valued at $2.6 billion. Since then, most of the media and entertainment have dropped in value. Now Warren has bought an additional 20 million shares, bringing his share count up to roughly 93 million shares. And I would estimate from calculations that his cost basis is about $28 a share. The shares are currently selling for $21.46. So he's down in it now. So what does he believe is going to happen? Well, I think what he knows is going to happen is that NFL agreement is going to take effect with this NFL season. And that's going to give a boost in the share prices. As far as movies that Paramount are coming out with, they have a Transformers movie, they have a Mission Impossible movie, and they have a Mutants Turtle movie and some other movies that I don't really have any understanding of. So what I think Warren is looking for is an easy double in his stock. I believe that Warren believes that he'll go positive sometime within the NFL season this year, and by this time next year, he'll probably ride the stock up to somewhere in the neighborhood of $56 a share. I think the other thing that will be forced upon Paramount and CBS in particular is to become more efficient at what they do. This is evidenced by if you look at their profit and loss statement, they had decent profits in 2021 off of the NFL game, off of the Super Bowl, but they had equal amounts of revenue, but had a 25% drop in their profits when in 2022, where they had the big success of Top Gun Maverick. So in essence, what I learned from this, it's much more profitable to put on NFL Super Bowl games and NFL games than it is to make a top movie and market that movie. So I believe what Warren believes, and I concur with him, this NFL contract that they signed back in 2021 takes effect this fall in 2023, and they're going to have a good fourth quarter in 2023 from the revenues that don't cost them as much to generate as movies do. And that is the NFL football franchise. They continue, of course, to have 60 Minutes. They did the Masters this year. And so it's all in a matter of efficiency. And I think Warren looks at that spike up and then spike down as an opportunity. And so I, like Warren, bought in. I bought in today at about $21.50, and I expect the stock to go over 50 probably by this time next year. That's why I believe Warren bought Paramount. Because it breaks all the rules that he says, that I want a growth company that has a moat around it, which Paramount does not have a moat and has a bright future. I just believe that Warren believes that Paramount is oversold and he's an opportunist. Over this weekend, I am going to dig deeper into Warren's holdings and come to a better understanding why he owns companies like Liberty Entertainment, which is Sirius Radio, which he has not done well on, and then another division of Liberty Entertainment, which is Formula One racing. I don't see Warren as a major Formula One fan. I see that there is some very successful Formula One offerings on Netflix. I'm not quite sure why he owns that, and there are some other stocks that I'm not quite sure why he owns, but I just don't think that I can ignore that there's one of the most successful investors in the history of mankind that makes his holdings available for me to analyze and to study and to come back and profit off of. I invested in the 5 stocks that he pointed me to in Japan, already up 2 to 3% in a matter of days. And I think probably some of that has to do with the videos that I have done on it. Okay. I'm going to stay on top of Warren. I want you to think of me as a place that you can go to find out what Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway are doing and how we can profit off of their expertise. I'll talk to you more about this in the future.